Since
If I'm sitting still, I like to be right.
yeah,
Never seen it in song.
and we could do it on some of the other meetings. Could think of some good songs to have beforehand.
I don't know.
Time a kangaroo down, sport.
Ever in the freshman documentary.
No, I haven't on my list to watch though.
It's pretty interesting. It gets pretty on, but it's interesting.
Have you watched?
Okay, we're at 6 o'clock.
We good, Kirby, or?
Getting there.
It rings a bell.
I'm checking to make sure it's looking like it's supposed to be right now.
Doesn't work on
Yes,
this
we're
anyway.
good to go.
Okay, I'll open the March 4th City Council meeting. Call the roll.
Abby Hansen,
Here.
Don Hawkins,
Here.
Megan McFarland. Here. Matt McKinney,
Here.
Logan Welch.
Here. Call for motion to approve the agenda.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Petitions, communications and requests. This is the time of the meeting that a citizen may address the council on a matter not on the agenda. Except in cases of emergency, the city council will not take any action at this meeting, but may ask city staff to research the matter or have the matter placed on the agenda for a future meeting. Yes.
You go up to the podium, please.
I don't know.
Oh, right here, right here. We can still hear you. Just go ahead and talk, man. We can hear you up here.
Street and Fairmeadow Drive exchange. I'd like to thank you for getting the street light replaced. It makes it much safer driving at night.
Thank you. A good thing for a change. Thanks very much. You've got a name address and that stuff. Yeah. Anyone have anything else? Okay. Item 2 is minutes, claims, reports and licenses. Following items have been report. Item 2 is minutes, claims. I'm gonna have to listen to that one off.
I'll get it over.
Otherwise I'll start getting confused.
Once I have it going, I can go ahead and close this. So I'll just close it now. We should be good. Okay.
Okay. All right. Item 2 is minutes, claims, reports and licenses. The following items have been deemed non-controversial routine actions to be approved by the council in a single motion. If a council member or the member of the audience wishes to have an item removed from this list, it will be considered on its normal sequence on the agenda. I have A, minutes of February 19. B is resolution on payroll for the period ending February 24th and paid on March 1st. C is a resolution on bills and approve the fund list.
Move to approve collectively.
Second.
All those in favour say aye. 3, general agenda. A is a discussion motion on Webster City Community Theatre request on sidewalk replacement on the corner of Wilson Avenue and Bank Street.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and City Council. As you're aware, late last year, the Webster City Community Theater approached the City Council and requested reimbursement for a certain portion of a sidewalk project in front of their theater. At that time, there was discussion about utilizing hotel motel tax funds. And There was also discussion by the council on perhaps allocating a portion of hotel motel tax to ADA projects of a certain amount and a certain percentage of each project. I met with representatives from the community theater. Excuse me, let me go back. City Attorney Cheezick has drafted those changes to the ordinance, and he can present them if you would like. I then met with the community theater representatives from the community theater to discuss about their request. They were concerned, they have an upcoming performance in April. They would like to get moving along with the improvements. And they asked whether or not we could get the funds to them so they could complete those improvements before the performance. I did review your hotel motel tax authorizing language, as well as the code language and associated Iowa statutes. While this is outside the granting cycle, I do believe that the council has the authority within that existing language to award the grant, especially in regards to the community theater's role in tourism and promotion. They have estimate of $12,278. They've requested 25% be awarded to them for a total of $3,069.50. And we recommend that you move forward with the awarding of that grant tonight so they can complete the improvement. In addition, one aspect of the project that also needed to be addressed was the removal of a tree adjacent to the sidewalk, causing some root issues, I believe heaving under a portion, and as part of our regular tree removal approved by the electric department, we've asked that that tree be removed as well. I'm happy to answer any questions related to this request. We do recommend that you approve it.
Is it something did you want to do anything with what Zach proposed, or you leave that to be at the moment?
I would, from my perspective, I believe you have the authority to authorize this request. I don't believe that a amendment to the ordinance is necessary right now, unless it's the council's priority to do that.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with moving forward.
Someone want to make a motion?
Second.
All those in favour say aye. Item B is a resolution directing publication of gross wage salaries for full-time and part-time city employees for the calendar year of 2023.
Yeah, Mayor and City Council, this is a statutorily required process. I believe you're familiar with it. Happens every year. Staff recommends approval.
Move to approve.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Item C is a resolution accepting permanent easements from the owners of 609 Oak Park Drive and 605 Parkway Drive in connection with electrical underground conversion.
Yes, Mayor and Council, as you can see, we have certain easements that we need to accept to move forward with the electric underground conversion. And they've been prepared and are attached to this memo. There is no financial implication other than the funds that the utility will be using to make the improvement. And we recommend approval.
Second.
All those in favour say aye. D is a resolution relating to the financing of proposed projects to be undertaken by the City of Webster City, Iowa, establishing compliance with reimbursement bond regulations under the Internal Revenue Code.
All right, thank you again. As part of the projects that we discussed last meeting regarding the financing of the AMI improvements, one step that's required by the city, because some of those projects have already started and funds have already been expended, is to adopt a resolution that's called a reimbursement resolution. So you may reimburse yourself with some of the proceeds of the bonds that are going to be issued for these projects. These are related to the AMI metering project, funding for those occurs in both the water and the electric utility. And as we discussed, the additional projects with the approval of the Corn Belt Cooperative and then subsequent projects that will be required to connect the Reisner substation to our other portions of the city's electric utility will require additional bonding. And so to reimburse yourself for some of the proceeds that you've already spent, this resolution is required. The financial implication of not adopting the reimbursement would be negative impacts to the cash fund balances of the electric and water fund and would require rate increases that are not within what has already been adopted by the city council.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm done, aren't
E is a resolution approving change order number 4.2, accepting the completion of water treatment facility improvements project and authorizing final pay applications number 9 and 11 of $78,488.15 for work completed, including a retainage amount of $34,430.70 to Peterson Construction of Webster City, Iowa.
On November 15th, 2021, the council authorized an agreement between Bolton and Mink and the city to provide professional services related to water improvements at the plant. You are familiar with some of the different change orders that were a part of this project. But I believe the focus of that project was the replacement of the carbon dioxide system and chlorine system. That project amount was budgeted originally at $693. This change order reduces it by $2,100. So the revised contract price is $690,000. This is the final payment and closeout. Attached to this documentation is a letter from the engineer describing to you that the project can be closed out. Work has been completed on it. And your resolution also authorizes a final payment of $78,488.15 to Peterson Construction to close the project out. So we do recommend approval.
It is less.
Yes, and we can answer any questions that you might have.
Well, I'd like it when that happens.
I?
Haven't seen it very often.
Second.
Again, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign and execute change order number 5 with Peterson Construction for the Wilson Brewer Courthouse Structural Improvement Project. Evening, Brian.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. What you have before you is change order number 5 for the Wilson Brewer Courthouse Structural Improvement Project. This change order includes the following items: the materials, labor, and supervision to remove rotted siding, plywood, framing, and molding installation located on the main level on the south half of the west wall. Also included would be installation of new materials to replace the removed items. This change order would increase the cost of the project by $2,775. The additional costs associated with the project would be covered by the Wilson Brewer Park Charitable Donations Fund through the Enhanced Hamilton County Foundation. Staff is recommending the City Council to adopt the resolution authorizing the mayor to sign and execute change order number 5 with Peterson Construction for the courthouse project with the additional cost of $2,775.
Okay. A question?
It needs to be done.
Okay. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
G is a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign and execute change order number 4 for the Lincoln Drive reconstruction project.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. This was due to the storm sewer outflow. The pipe at the end of the dead end on Lincoln Drive, it's supposed to go out towards the east, which it does. There's supposed to be erosion mat. The water somehow managed to escape off the erosion mat, started eroding the bank right there. So with this change order would be $14,900. There was one other one that was significantly more, but it was out of the question. This is the most favorable option. It's to extend the pipe approximately 50 feet and then into the creek bed. And so we're just,
You want to scroll down one, Kirby, so they can see what
You can actually has the picture there. Yeah.
the picture down.
Oh, it's up, it's 113.
Oh, it's up. Can you go?
Further. Little more.
A little bit more, Kirby. There you
and
go.
pipes back here, and it's supposed to, the water is supposed to run like this, but it started running like this and started eroding it. What this will do is it'll bring the pipe out about 50 feet to right here. And then we'll reinforce that. And then the pipe will go straight down into like right in here. And then that way it'll be a long-term solution to that erosion problem.
Yeah.
And so staff recommends the city council adopt a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign and execute change order number 4.
Move
Thanks,
to
Jerry.
approve. Second.
All those in favour, say aye.
Aye.
H is a resolution authorising the city manager to sign and execute a purchase agreement for the purchase of property located at 547 Second Street and 612 Wilson Avenue, Webster City, Iowa, in the amount of $10,000.
Good evening, Mayor. So the property that was aforementioned was deemed unsafe and declared a public nuisance by the city back in August of 2023. Due to the lack of progression by the current owners to abate the property, the city staff recommended city council approve the purchase of the property. Staff reached out to the property owners and extended an offer, and the property owner did accept the offer of $10,000. A purchase agreement was drafted by the city attorney. So city staff is requesting city council adopt a resolution executing this agreement. As stated, the purchase is for $10,000, and then the next step would be to have a structural engineer evaluate the interior and exterior of the building. And then they would submit a report. So we would incur the amount of $10,000 to purchase the building, and then we would also pay the fees associated with closing and abstracting, as well as the structural engineer costs for the evaluation of the building, and then determine from that point what we would do next. So city staff's just recommending city council adopt that resolution authorizing the city manager to sign the purchase agreement.
No, I hate to interrupt, but
No.
by adopting this resolution, they're not obligating themselves for the structural engineer. Or are you requesting that? Okay. So for now, we're authorizing the purchase. We'll take a look at what we've purchased and see before we. But I don't know if the council has strong preferences, do you want to, it does not matter to us, but do you want that structural engineer ordered now, or would you like to wait till we get it and take a look at it?
I think it makes, sorry,
No, go
I
ahead.
think it makes sense to have staff do a thorough walkthrough first. If it's deemed that it's pretty obvious that it can't be rehabbed, then
Right.
spending the money doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to point out the intention here would be to somehow either sell it for rehab or rehab it. So that we're not just tearing a building down. I think we've all talked about that, and I think that's our goal. We'll just have to see what the condition is at that point.
Yeah.
So.
In 2 weeks, it's 2 weeks before
Yeah.
we can do anything anyway.
Yeah.
So, and we'll be back here in 2 weeks. So. Okay. Well, some people won't be on it. Well, you could, we can have a baby seat in there.
I have ways of making sure she's present.
You can zoom.
Thanks, Ariel. Oh, well, you're staying there.
I can cut you off right here, Miss Ariel.
All right. Take call for motion.
Second.
All those in favour say aye. Item I is resolution setting time and place for a public hearing pertaining to the disposal of city-owned property in the Brewer Creek Estate 6th edition, and its lots 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 for Ridge. This is Ridge Development.
And it's for March.
And it's, sorry, for March 18th at 6:05 PM.
Yep, so the city has been approached by Ridge Development to purchase those lots. Public hearing was held in November of 2017, establishing the lot prices in Brewer Creek. The reason that we need to set a public hearing for the purchase of these is because he has made a couple of requests, one being that he'll make the down payment and then pay for the lot once the building is sold. This development would actually be duplexes or they're double layer townhomes, so they're not the standard wide, they're tall. So it would actually be 12 units between the 6 lots, so it'd be 2 units per lot. He has also requested city council consider capping the building permit fees at $2,000 per duplex. And then that would include any trade permits for the purchase. So staff's just requesting direction on capping of building permit fees for the development and also setting a public hearing for March 18th at 6:05.
Let me back up and just talk a little bit about the permitting fees. The developer has requested the cap. The fees, I have not undertaken a review of your permit fees, so I don't know how they compare to other communities. And so as a result, I'm unable to provide you with an assessment of the reasonableness of this request. I also haven't spoken with you about prior purchases, so I don't know if this is something that is standard or not. I think that the good part about where we're at in the process is that you're just setting a public hearing to consider the sale, and that those conversations can occur between now and when you have the public hearing. So we would probably request feedback from the council on maybe your opinion related to this matter and what you think are reasonable. I can offer a few ideas if you would like. But that would be helpful as we have this discussion. The other question I have you ever had a home built and not sold? And then what happens to the city's portion?
Built and wasn't sold.
So it says the developer do the 1,000 and then he pays the balance.
The 4 that he's building right now are all the same.
But you've never had a situation where a home is constructed and not sold and then the city doesn't recoup?
No.
So this is a standard portion of.
Well, we've done it before where they just never started and we got the lots back
Okay.
then. But on these, like this deal with Ridge, like I said before, that he has now, that's exactly what's gonna happen. Is he's gonna eventually sell them. I mean, when they're done, and then the city will get their. I don't know what the lot price was on these last ones, 20,000, I think, or 30,000. Yeah.
That is the asking price. Yeah.
And are these for duplexes, Ariel?
Yes.
So these are duplexes on lots, on each lot.
So I think you've got time to, all we're doing is setting the public hearing. So we're not doing anything.
Yeah,
But
whatever
I
you,
think before the next meeting, or for the next meeting, even, that's all. We only need something before the next meeting as to what your thoughts were on the building permit side of it, whether we're somewhere near the mark or whether you think we're high, or
Sure.
whether you'd like to do anything with that or not. If you can just provide us something then, I think that's fine.
Is there a may I ask another question? Mayor?
Yeah.
You might, okay. Is there a sentiment on the council regarding the building permit fees? So I mean, ultimately, these boil down to dollars. So, we can do a survey of communities we in the area. Other times people say just the fees are the fees, but then they would work in a different type of incentive, maybe a little bit of tax abatement. So there's different ways to approach a developer's request in this regard. But I'm happy if the feedback is just take a survey and see where we're at in the market. We can certainly accomplish that and get back to you.
Well, if the guy's prepared to build on that many lots, I'm prepared to give him a break on his building permits.
I guess I look at it the same way. I'd like to know the feedback of what we hear from building permit fees for others, but the sooner 6 lots get built on and go on the tax rolls, the better. So, somebody willing to build multiple structures, taking on that many lots at one time seems reasonable to look at a reduced cost on the building permits.
Yeah, especially more affordable housing. That's what we're in short stock of. So. Yeah, but again, being naive to what like a total permitting cost would be per build, I don't know what a deal is. So I mean, yeah, so ideally by the next 2 weeks, we have some idea of what that looks like as a break. And but yeah, I'm open-minded with this developer and whatever works. But again, I just want to know how big of a break we could be giving him this agreement.
So we'll just call for motion for the.
Move to approve setting public hearing.
Okay.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Item J is resolution setting time and place for a public hearing pertaining to the disposal of city-owned property in Brewer Creek Estate, 6th edition for lots 21, 22, 23, and 24, Greenstream at March 18th at 6:05 PM.
So we've been approached by another prospective developer, Stream Homes of Iowa. They've reached out wanting to build single family dwellings on each one of these lots. So each of the lots is listed for priced at $15,995. Again, with this agreement, the city attorney has drafted the agreement for a total amount of $63,980 for the total price of all 4 lots. The reason this is coming before you is because it would have a $500 down payment per lot rather than the $1,000 that's in the covenant. And also, he would also wait to pay for the lots until the sale of the home is complete. So I'm just requesting a public hearing for March 18th at 6:05 to dispose of these 4 lots as well.
Any thoughts? We're okay. Okay. Call for motion.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Ariel.
If may I jump in real quick? I just want to say thank you to Ariel. You know, I know the sale of, what is this?
10 lots.
10 lots. That requires a lot of work and commitment and good dealings with developers. And I think that's a nice start to the year for the community.
Yes.
Thank you.
Me up there. Kirby. K for Kirby. Council
That worked,
memorandum.
didn't it?
Yeah. Motion changing public availability to Zoom city council meetings.
Hello, everybody. What this is, I just want to make this a formal, going to call it a closure. Back when COVID started and everything, I hurried up and came with a plan so we could hold our council meetings remotely. We started doing Zoom meetings and such. And then we'd invite let everybody, the public, get in. Well, we're past that now. And honestly, we've had a couple of possible breaches. Had myself or Brian not caught it, we could have had some not so good circumstances on the TV, let's put it that way. So, and there's really no need for anybody need to come in on Zoom right now, public wise. Now, if we have a special contractor or a special guest, something like that, we can still send them the link, that's not a problem. But what all this is going to do is remove that little paragraph with all the information, join the meeting through Zoom. But instead, we'll put a paragraph on there. We'll, Miss Carol and Miss Ann will put a paragraph on the top of the agenda with the link to the Facebook page. And I tested it earlier today and yesterday afternoon. You do not have to have a Facebook page to click on that and be able to view the meeting live. So at this point, I don't see any reason to continue publishing to the public, our Zoom links and everything. Just kind of close down one more little loophole of some possible embarrassing moments. So I move that we stop providing the public access through Zoom.
One question I had when I was reading your memo, it would negate the possibility for any comments or input by the public that aren't physically in the room, right? Like obviously Facebook's a
Well, no, they can on Facebook, they can still do that.
They can comment, right? But we
Correct.
wouldn't be able to address an issue in the public information portion of the meeting. We wouldn't be able to necessarily vet those and answer them on the fly. You know, so but again, Facebook is kind of a one-way consumption of media, and of course you can
We haven't
comment.
really done that though anyways.
No,
We won't do it.
we had an after chat session going on about 8 months ago. And we closed chat.
In the Zoom meeting.
Yep.
That's the only concern I have but again, I'm understanding that, yeah, no one really uses it anyway, and it's some bad actors, using it appropriately. Again, I don't want to hinder that public input, but and I guess I don't know how else to do it, unless they're just physically in the room or somehow submit some type of public information request prior to the meeting that's read or something. So again, I just want to be cognizant of the fact that we can't get outside information to the meeting with that shutdown. But I'm okay with it doing that, but
But I mean, even though, I want to make something clear there, we have not provided anybody any feedback for a long time. We tried it one time and we got a tremendous amount of feedback that was very, very negative. So then we closed it again. We haven't allowed it.
I mean, like letting someone communicate a public issue via Zoom. Is that what you're saying?
We did that one time, like I said, it turned out very negative. So at the manager's, that point in time, the manager's decision was just closed off. So I went into the Zoom settings and closed all that off. We haven't done that for several months, if maybe even over a year now.
Oh, good to know. Again, I just hope anybody takes any avenue they're comfortable with, to partake in council meetings. So I guess with this, change, I just encourage people to try to get out and join us live. As much as they can.
And please do, we welcome people to come in here, no problem. Now COVID's over and everything, please come. That's not a problem.
I had several people ask me about this when the agenda came out, so I just want to make it clear that there's still going to be Facebook Live, which is what's utilized the most. But I think some people were concerned that meant there wouldn't be any live stream.
Correct, yeah. John and I talked about that, interim city manager, they want to make sure the same thing. We're not changing anything else. We're still going to record it. We'll still send Miss Darcy the recording so she can put on the website. The only thing that's changing, we're just not providing the public access.
Yeah.
That's all that we're doing.
And really, when you think back to the days of like public access MediaCom, for one, you had to have MediaCom,
Correct.
and so that cut out half the town or a third of the town.
At least, yep.
And then we tried YouTube for a while, and we streamed on YouTube, or we put them up on YouTube. I think I hear more people watch the meetings with the Facebook Live than ever before. So I run into people at gas station like, yeah, I saw the meeting. I'm like, I didn't see you. Like, all right. So it just reminds me how many people are paying attention and how many people are interested in what's going on. And I think it's been a great tool.
And just add to that, we do have, clear back to 2016 or something like that, meetings that we recorded since we started doing this, that they can get to on the Facebook page. The website page. So if anytime anybody wants to go back and look at older meetings, they sure can through there too. So again, there's no way we're restricting anything or inhibiting anything. Everything's still very transparent.
Yeah, I think I agree with all Kirby's comments. I think for the public, the difference between the Zoom and the Facebook is the interactive or the joining part of the Zoom. But you mentioned that for 8 or 9 months, they haven't been able to interact as well. So, yeah.
I don't think we've ever.
I don't even
I
remember.
don't think we've ever.
Just that.
I don't think us here, we ever got the feedback.
During COVID, we did. During COVID, we
were ourselves.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were at home for a month or so, and then one person sat there, one person over here. That's how we did, but no public couldn't come in either that was a couple of years, that was a year, at least a year here. So.
It come a long way.
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense.
Did you need a motion on?
Yep.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Kirby.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Zach, what have you got for us?
So as you guys have all seen tonight, purchase agreements have all been done. I did have a typo. I'm sure you've all read my memo, but I said 9 lots in there. I meant 10 lots. We've sold 10 or That for sure.
So we sold one more since you were.
Yeah, same, yeah. Apparently I know the math very well. And then we also received two additional FOIA requests, a freedom of information request in the past month. One was regarding speed cameras, surprise. The other one was regarding the some communications we've had with the Iowa Freedom of Information Board. Both have been responded to. We got an additional one. Carol got one, so I'm gonna respond to that one. It was in addition to a previous one, so we'll get that one out. A lot of them, so it's all right. That's it.
Okay. Call promotion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Carol, you were asking me about that. Thank you, guys. That guidance request from speaking. Oh. We can give it a shot. I don't care which way you. Moved up, right? You want me to? Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
What else? He was 5 years.
Oh. I don't know. Speaking of you.
Yeah.
So I think it's all water.
Well, I can defend the other one better than I do.